this, but that's a story of everyone. So Richard Tiwanje, Faizo Chiwewa, we're gonna have to let Faizo run for his meeting. We are now talking about the global village.
You know,
Faizo has been on the show, is running for his next meeting in Belgium, where he caught a train this morning. Imagine the day we can do that in Kampala. We'll catch a train to be in Congo, to do a show in Congo, in Tanzania.
He shall come. That time will come. I hope we shall be alive.
Yes.
we are going to contribute to the coming of those things.
Exactly.
It's a fantastic time to be alive.
So we're going to take another break, and when we come back, Richard Tiwanje and I are going to continue with the show until the end, while we're missing Faizo, who is running for his meeting. Stay right there, Creative Industry. We'll be back after this break. Welcome back from that break. I hope you've gotten a little bit of what we have been talking about here. There's that discussion with Musta where we're talking about creative spaces in Uganda. For the first time in the history of Uganda, we actually have a creative space, Richard, in Uganda. Yeah. There are 2 creative spaces for creative people to go. So you don't longer now need to put on your backpack and you wear your shorts and enter the restaurant and then you think, mulalo una tu se. Because you're wearing shorts, you're entering an high-profile, sort of like restaurant and stuff.
Give you the food bill and they are coming.
Yes, at the same time, and then you go. So we're talking about that on the show, creative spaces, and we wanted to connect this to this business discussion that we're having. Richard, thank you very much, first of all, for the last part of the show. I want to take you straight to, what does creativity bring to business success, in your opinion?
Creativity allows you to stay ahead of the pack. It helps you become the trendsetter. Humankind is set in a way that they will always have a thing for the pioneer of things. Yeah. So we see it, if you think about these big corporations we see in Uganda and how they advertise and the different promotions they bring, you will somehow the target market will always have the pioneer front of mind. So for me, creativity, that is how important it is, because you will get the masters, you'll be an A-lister on the papers. But if you do not know how to channel, because there's not one company in the arts or in business, as we know it, there's not a company that hires more than 10 people, and all of them are not creative. There is always creativity in a company. But every organization has to have a leader that knows how to harness that creativity.
That's the point. That's right there, you've spoken it.
Yes, because it's man, our society, sometimes, I think it is in our conditioning, in our bringing up, when people attain positions of leadership, they wear the boss clock, instead of,
a servant person,
that is when now you need to be part of the other ones and know who is going to be coupled with who to achieve something. Creativity is all over the place. Harnessing it is a challenge.
So in other words, you're saying every business needs to have that one leader, that one person who harnesses the creativity in the team that they have in order for that business to be successful.
Yes, if they don't have that leader might come and go, but a system has to be created, or activities. It could be just activities, regular activities, that if a consistency is kept, a lot of our ideas will bounce off creative people and create one big thing.
Wow. Well, that is one takeaway from Richard right there. How can businesses harness from creativity to be successful in Uganda? Richard, let's dive to the next one. I want to just go to this next question. Why is creativity very important for the success of our business, in your opinion? Why is creativity very important for the success of our businesses?
For me, creativity is I'll take you a little bit back from what I mentioned. Is you don't want to start something for just starting sake. Businesses have to grow. businesses have to grow in revenue and in how many lives a business touches.
Yeah.
You know, so creativity is very important for growth, because business is not about just growth of revenue. Creativity is very important for growth of any kind of organization.
In other words, Richard, you're saying, even as an individual, if I am not creative, there's nowhere, I can't wear this exact same shirt over and over. Even Balaam had to change his t-shirt at some point. We're used to Balaam wearing one type of t-shirt, and then at some point he had to change. So you're saying that we've got to be, it's important, creativity is important in business success as good as in an individual life, that we are reinventing ourselves over and over, and we're thinking about these things over and over. Richard, in that context, how does creativity facilitate the business growth, or how can it facilitate the business growth in Uganda? Take, for example, you guys of the Fun Factory. You started at the backyard of Kampala, and now you are in the city of Johannesburg, and, you know, springing out from there and going to the rest of Africa.
Yes.
And I'm sure soon enough, somebody's going to see you from Hollywood and say, these guys, Annington was here and was telling us how you're producing, you know, 14 different skits every single week. He says that we're the only group in the entire Africa who has managed to do this.
Yeah, yeah, entire Africa.
Yeah.
And then in the world, I think it's only Fun Factory and Saturday Night Live that do a weekly sketch comedy show. Maybe somewhere in the Orientals, Japan, you know, but sketch comedy. New show every week. Every week. I think that contributes to why, you know, we worked out a formula. We've been working together for a long time.
Yeah.
We figured out each other's strengths, and we know I could be good, but I'm better when I'm with Dixon Zizinga.
Yeah.
Because I know exactly how I and him can gel well together and create something bigger than if he did a skit on his own. Yeah. So that tags into what I explained earlier. You know, creativity is there, harnessing it can be a problem. It is very easy to have Fun Factory and not to have a breakthrough till now. Yeah, because humans are humans. You have to know the creativity alone cannot be the winning horse. Yeah. So you're saying, how does it facilitate business growth? Yeah. I think, you know, whether we like it or not, whether formally or informally, we research. We research. Some people start businesses because they went around, they had, it is basically accidental research.
Yes.
But if we in the creative business accept and manage our creative business as well as businesses are managed, because it is a business, then we need to research.
So research and development is equally very important.
When you research and you know exactly what they want, and you already have this creativity, it will just boom.
Wow.
Because for us now, you know, Ugandans are the only kind of talents that can entertain all English-speaking Africa. Yeah. Not a lot of people are watching Nigerian movies here.
Yes.
Like they used to. Yeah. Now they are watching our content.
Yes.
But our research shows that when Ugandan dramas go to West Africa, West Africans find our dramas more superior.
Yes. To theirs.
To theirs.
Actually, a friend of mine, Uti Nwachuku, who was in Big Brother, wrote to me one time and was saying the same thing. Yeah.
Now, you see, I'm going to tell you true stories here that will surprise you. But it is such research, not you know, formally commissioned, that now allows us to even open the you know, target wider. Yes. You know, because Zambia, Malawi, Ghana, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, even South Africa and Tanzania and Kenya can be our audience. Because before lockdown, we used to stream our show for 2 hours. And little did we know, it was Zambians and Malawians that were making the numbers. Yes. Until you act in Uganda, then you see comments. Banang, please go back to English. Yes. Then when you check their profiles, Malawi, Zambia, Kenya, Rwanda. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
It is that good for us, to capitalize on, that there's a time we had a TV drama called The Hostel, and it was airing on all Africa Magic channels at some point.
Yeah.
So Ghana and Nigeria were watching.
Yeah.
A friend of mine called me and told me, Richard, I'm going to win a bet here of $300. Yeah. The Ghanaians who I'm watching The Hostel with think you guys are Zimbabwean. They think Uganda cannot produce this kind of stuff. He told them, wait for the credits and you will see. He won the bet, long story cut short.
$300.
And he told me, Richard,
make
it a point to create for English-speaking West Africa. And, well, that we knew years ago. But the resources to achieve that, the only way, the best way to do it is to now entertain Africa digitally. So now, Fun Factory might need Eddie as a consultant.
Yes.
So, really, I don't think creativity alone can be a winning horse.
Yeah.
Research.
Yeah. And development.
Research and development. Then you know, okay, we can create in this line, but the money, according to what we now know, will come from Rwanda and Kenya and Tanzania.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, everybody. You've heard from Richard. In fact, I want to allow Richard to read this by himself. This is probably the longest of a comment here. I want you to read that comment loud to everyone. This is coming because sometimes when I read the comment, people say yes.
This is thanks a lot, Mr. Richard, Tuanje, Kofi, and Chiwewa. I still think more thought should be put into which word is this?
Yes. Just want to
delineating
delineating the arts, yes,
and cultural sector, creative sector, and separate it from the umbrella creative industry, especially to support policy and decision making. A businessman selling healthcare products is part of the healthcare industry, but not a healthcare professional simply because healthcare is well delineated. Please excuse us if we don't pronounce
delineating very well.
I'm from Chiruhura. You cannot run away from yourself. It makes sense that we clearly delineate. I think it's delineate the arts and culture sector. From the big umbrella creative industry. Wouldn't you agree? It is also possible. This is more academic and less practical. I agree with him.
Yes.
I
also agree with him.
I really agree with him. We need to delineate it. We need to create a proper lane for the creative the arts and cultural sector. Though it's fueled by creativity, but it's the arts and culture sector. What we can just say is, at some point, if creativity has to help business growth, some basics don't change.
Which is always a constant. And then Richard, I want to just put this to my brother there. Thank you very much. First of all, my brother, Mr. Keith Nyende, you raise a fantastic point right there. And teacher Mpaire says, I love this conversation. So that's a
by the way, Keith, I know Keith is one of the brightest cultural entrepreneurs in our times. That guy was the brainchild behind Nyege Nyege.
Wow.
He was the first person to imagine wider and dare to do a festival on the Nile.
Wow. And thank you very much, Keith. Thank you very much, Teacher Mpare, for being a part of the show. I want to dive straight to a comment coming all the way from Australia. Dennis in Australia is always a constant guy watching the show. Eddie Okila, thank you very much for bringing Richard Kofi onto the show. Is one of my favorite actors out of Uganda. He keeps me out of home, happy. I am glued to, watching the Fun Factory all the way. I live in Sydney. And thank you very much for bringing these guys always on the show. Tell Richard to continue channeling out the things that I love. And people don't understand that this particular discussion is good for us because we don't usually get sort of like the interesting ideas that come out of Uganda. There's no TV that looks after the people who are in the diaspora. So Richard, shout out to you.
We're just having that conversation because you came back.
And I want to go to a WhatsApp message here coming from the US. First of all, shout out to Coach Anthony Ndaula, and of course, my professor from another mother, Professor Penina Chayo, Assistant Professor for Design Communication, Washington University. Ugandans are in big places.
You are rubbing shoulders with the...
And
I need to get in touch with that one.
and she always said that we need to come with a design identity for Uganda.
That's...
Design identity for Uganda. So, Professor Penina Chayo, thank you so much. Yes.
That is very important.
And Anthony Ndaula, I want to dive out to JB Atine all the way in Belgium, says is always loving the discussion. JB is into the IT sector in Belgium, and these are big people doing serious consultancy in outside countries, as we say it in Uganda. Guys, shout out to all of you guys. I want to go straight to my brother from another mother in Denmark. Eddie Okila, thank you very much for bringing Richard to Wanje. Faizo and Richard today nailed the show. I wish Faizo wasn't running. I would want to hear more coming from those fellows about how we can actually make money out of creativity. Most businesses in Kampala, back in Kampala, think that creative people are crazy, but no one will buy a tomato that is packed in a sack, but I will buy a tomato which is nicely packaged and put in a cavera that I can see with a label made out of Uganda or product of Uganda. That's what creativity does.
Wow.
And
you see, simple. It's just usually a simple twist.
Yes.
Yeah, that creates another breakthrough.
Yes.
And you see, most of the creative ideas that change the world or change sectors or bring in new trends, you look at the idea and you're like, whoa, how is it that I didn't think about that?
Because the smallest thing, Richard, are usually the most difficult thing to people to say. That's why creative people needs to be paid money.
Yes,
because thing that you're looking at it as very small is usually the biggest thing that people are looking for. And I want to dive straight to South Africa before we we need to go back and finish the show. That gentleman on the show is my best actor in that comedy show. I am a guy who love watching the things. It's an amazing to see him at that calm, that professional, and out of the stage, out of character. I'm actually discussing how we can take things. I'm a Ugandan living in South Africa. This channel is my place to be.
Wow.
And thank you very much, guys. I want to just take Richard back to the show. I told you to send your kisses, and this is coming. If you think we're not doing well, please diss us. If you think we're doing well, kiss us. Richard, this discussion, I know it's going to be a very important discussion to most people. And of course, we're going to be looking more into having a discussion with you going forward. How does creativity, Richard, or rather, my last question to you actually for the day, why is creativity very important for an entrepreneur? The world describes Uganda as the most entrepreneurial country in the world.
Yes.
But Ugandan businesses that are usually started, as they always say, die before they see the next birthday. In fact, to me, we don't go beyond 6 months of our existence. And people are always wondering that Ugandans are very creative, they're very entrepreneurial, but how businesses don't go beyond that. Richard, there's a university or an organization that did research, studies about anthropology, about Uganda as being the most culturally diverse country in the world.
True.
And I think the Virgin, sort of like paid money for that research to come out. Now, all of this research is about Uganda, it's about the people out of Uganda, it's about Africa, it's about why is it that our businesses don't go beyond that? And today we're talking about creativity for business success in Uganda. Yes. My last question to you for the show is, why is creativity important for an entrepreneur? Because most people start businesses and think that they're just going to run. I don't need a designer, I don't need a copywriter.
That's true. It is very important for at the core, the simple basic of being an entrepreneur is you're presenting something new, or you're solving a big problem in a new way, that is maybe you're making it comfortable for your target audience, or cheaper, or you have basically killed or presented something new to buy and give people an experience. Because I think we can never think from the standpoint of the entrepreneur. We have to think from also the standpoint of the buyer.
Yes.
What is the experience or what is the convenience that you are causing.
Yeah.
Now that means you cannot come and do exactly what has been around.
Yeah.
Now for me, in my thinking,
yeah.
I think that is the biggest problem with entrepreneurs or business startups.
Yeah.
There's a syndrome we have as Ugandans. We come to fit in.
Yeah.
We want to fit in. You think you can be a good singer, you come to fit in into what is happening. You think you can enter the whatever kind of business, you come to fit in, not to present it in a better or different way or convenient way for the end consumer. So for me, that is the challenge. Now, if you are not going to fit in, you need to have creativity. You need to work with teams. Like I told you, Fun Factory is made of like 10, 12 very creative minds. But Dixon's creativity amplifies mine, or mine gels well with his, and a big product is created. Dixon alone can earn all the money he wants if he's well managed. And I can. But if we figure out
come together,
what we want to bring on the table, if we want to sell it to, say, entire Uganda and Bantu-speaking, Africa, then we have to put together a team and hit it. So for me, don't fit in. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, you don't have to fit in. Twist what has been around. And how are you going to do it if you don't get creative teams together? But I don't know, we need a creative hub in Uganda where this is my idea, but I need a brain like Okila's. Then I need so and so. Where we are so weak also in Uganda is we are so weak on partnerships.
Because so we're very individualistic in our nature, in our thinking. We're quite very myopic and quite very mediocre-ish in a way of doing things, if the word exists. I'm talking about the word mediocrity striving where there's ignorance.
In Uganda, man, mediocrity is a standard. It is a standard, as they hit it like chukulie.
Well, guys, I told you this show is going to be very interesting. Richard, we're going to bring the show to a close. Creativity for innovation and profit. What's your score?
Creativity for innovation
and profit. Yes, what's your score?
How I've done over the years. I think I am happy that I am above average. 6, and I know now how to earn the other portion that I have not.
The 4. Okay.
Man, it is a good thing to be consistent. Along the way, we had many reasons to give up, man. Many reasons to give up. But man, bro, if you have a dream, if you see what it can be 10 years from where you're standing, it gives you a reason to keep going. While you think it is big, you might even hit it in 4 years, and then so let's say I'm there, 6.57. You're going to be seeing what we are creating. By the way, personally, I'm happy COVID came.
So it wasn't really negative as everybody put it.
No. For example, it's because we are not here to specifically talk about what we did, or is it okay?
Please, yes.
When we went for total lockdown, it hit us. We had a weekly comedy show at the National Theatre. Every week we do 52 shows. A year, fresh new shows. Then we have for the affluent Kampalan who wants to pay 100,000 shillings. Then we have some at the Serena that we put there. But now this is total lockdown. We went into lockdown. We thought it was going to be 1 month. It became 2. It became 3.
90 days became 140.
Towards the end of the second month, we figured things were not going to be the same again. So we got what our craft and what we used to produce. It was the raw material we used to churn out comedy shows. So we decided now to use this craft to produce content that fits the times, awareness about the COVID. But the water had to be comedy.
Yeah.
We had to crack people
The
up.
ingredient was
Yes,
was that.
we had
yes.
to crack people up. They needed to laugh in their
The world
houses.
was stressed. The world needed some laughters.
You know, when we went into lockdown, our videos would have, say, 100,000 views from the previous night. Yeah, 100,000 from the previous night. But now, during total lockdown, when we started putting out really funny content, that is bearing, had a bearing around the COVID-19.
Yes.
You put it up, and in 24 hours, it has 600,000 viewers. So we went on with that. And when we started, partners were watching. Not partners then, partners now.
Yeah, okay. Because they never come at the beginning of it. Most have said they need to come now, because if they're not part of us now. In fact, Pfizer said,
by the
if
time
the corporates don't come now,
yes,
we don't need the corporate. We will be corporation ourselves.
But you see, we have a big part to play
Yeah.
on teaching them how powerful,
how
really powerful the arts are in driving business.
Wow.
Yeah. Because
which is the essence of this show today.
You know,
please.
And you see, for us, that is how we have survived, by using the craft now in a different space. So we did that. MasterCard came on board, Traweza, and that's how we've been doing it. Now, why I say we need to teach now the business sector how important the arts are. I do advertising copywriting. Sometimes I sit in boardrooms and they are giving me briefs, and they really want an ad that can touch people, not just communicate. But most cases, you go through a session of schooling them on why what you're creating will work. Yeah? Because it is, I'm not saying it in a bad way, but most people who preside over big offices that make decisions on how a product is going to be communicated with the brand, we still have a lot of them who operate textbook. Proper textbook.
It's a standard operating procedure.
Yes, these are the parameters. But we guys know the temperature of the audiences.
Yes. And the consumers.
Yes. So you have to tell them, if you really want to do mass market, we are going to get off this lane a bit, put one foot this side. So there's always that fear of risking, because they are not managing their own money, some of them.
And they often take back the budget. Navio was here on the CEO bench, and he says, I really get mad when the marketing manager is taking back the budget meant for marketing, and he's taking it back. That person should be fired, because why would you be given a budget to market things and you're taking it back? Well, Richard, thank you very much for coming to the show today. We will definitely be bringing you back next week to discuss the importance of creativity in making businesses successful. We've started the drumming of these things. What are the importance of business, of creativity in business, and how can we harness that, processes and the importance of that to make businesses more successful in Uganda? Everyone is crying in Uganda or in Africa or across the world, but I think that we can do something that will allow us to get there, allow us to understand how we can use creativity for businesses to be successful in Uganda. Once again, I want to say thank you so much for coming to the show. And of course to Faizo, your final parting shot. By the way, excuse me, you are heavily, requested to come on the show by so many people. When we started the creative spaces, and we brought, most to talk about the creative spaces, and Faizo is a resident panelist here. They said the next topic, when you're moving away from creative spaces, you need to bring people who are going to tell us how creativity can be used in business for it to be successful. And overall, there was a lot of nomination for you to come onto the show. There's a lot of vote for, my brother from another mother, Jeremy Biemanzi, to come on the show. Wow. And our job is to make sure you come to the program.
That is very flattering, because I don't think I've informed myself very well, but I'm on that path.
Yes.
But what I know is, we are not in a bad place, but there's a lot of growth we can achieve. And most importantly, we need to inspire the generations that are coming after us, because we have a generation that really wants things to be easy. When
and
we
if they're not grounded, it might be very problematic.
Lucky enough, they are in a time where actually things can get easier than they were for us. If they get to know the basics and what to do while you keep the patients on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Richard. Creative industry has come to an end, but we want to close up the show by allowing Richard. He said at the beginning of the show that he's doesn't know whether he's a musician or he's a singer, so we want to know. He's going to close up the show with that part
Oh my God.
of the show. Is he a musician or a singer? You're going to vote for yourself. Over to you, Richard.
I'm a singer who sings for fun.
Yes.
Yes. So I get surprised when people pay. But anyway,
Yes.
do you know I started out as a singer?
Yes.
Something I shocked myself.
Yes, and
got
also
song
see what
recorded and
the
became a
target you
hit.
had in you. Yes.
Had I known what I know now,
Yes.
eh?
Yes.
Then
Yes.
I don't know. I would have had to fly in for this interview.
All right, guys, the creative industry, it's a wrap from us here. Richard Ediokila, Faizo Chiwewa in Belgium, and to all of you guys all across the world, we want to say thank you. And to the crew here that makes this camera and the lighting and the things looks really beautiful, we want to say thank you. It is a teamwork, not Okila work, that makes things happen. Until next week, we'll be talking about the importance of creativity in making businesses successful, both in Uganda and all across the world. Stay right there. We'll be right back next week. Signing out, Ediokila, Richard, Faizo. It's a wrap.
Thank you.